What could make him, So-hyun, quietly send a heartfelt congratulations to Park Bo-gum on his most special day? The gesture was subtle, almost hidden from the public eye. Yet it carried a weight of meaning that fans can't stop talking about. Join Red Carpet Revealed as we unravel this unexpected moment and discover the story behind it, starting now. It began like any other grand celebration in the heart of Seoul. But there was something about that crisp autumn evening that felt electric. As if the air itself knew a secret it was about to whisper. The venue, an opulent hall bathed in warm gold light, was already buzzing before Park Bo-gum even arrived. Fans lined the entrance, their banners fluttering under the soft glow of the street lamps. Camera flashes exploding like fireworks as black sedans pulled up one after another. Inside, the red carpet stretched toward the main stage, dotted with photographers crouched low, each one hunting for the perfect shot. Tonight was no ordinary event. For Park Bo-gum, it was a milestone, an award ceremony marking a decade since his first lead role. A celebration of his contributions to film, television, and even his charitable work. The hall brimmed with friends, co-stars, directors, producers, and a scattering of public figures who had, at some point, crossed paths with him on his remarkable journey. He greeted them all with his signature smile. Gracious and genuine. The kind of smile that always seemed to put everyone at ease. But behind the polite handshakes and photo ops, there was a flicker in his eyes, something softer. His mind was half somewhere else. The speeches began, a parade of tributes and congratulations from industry giants. Laughter rolled through the hall at shared memories. Applause thundered after every heartfelt word. Between segments, Bo-gum would slip backstage, exchanging a few quiet words with the event staff, sipping water, his thoughts distant. It was during one of these breaks that a stage assistant approached him, holding out a small cream-colored envelope. It was unadorned except for a neat handwriting on the front, just his name, nothing else. The assistant whispered, "This was delivered for you." The sender asked for it to be given privately. For a second, Bo-gum simply stared at it. The world beyond the envelope seemed to fade. He recognized the handwriting instantly. It was Kim So-hyun's. Not stylized, not formal, but warm and familiar. Just like her. He took it gently, feeling the faint impression of the pen strokes beneath his fingertips. She wasn't there tonight. He knew her schedule. Knew she was on location for a drama shoot halfway across the country. And yet, here it was. A message from her, delivered into his hands without fanfare, without the curious eyes of the crowd. Their story was not the stuff of tabloid frenzy but of quiet intersections, two careers running parallel, occasionally touching, each encounter leaving behind the subtle residue of shared respect. They had worked together years ago on a charity campaign. Their on-screen presence so natural it had sparked a flurry of shipping among fans. But outside those brief collaborations, they rarely appeared together. Still, those who knew them best spoke of an unspoken bond. Mutual admiration unshaken by time or distance. He didn't open the envelope immediately. Instead, he tucked it inside his jacket, the weight of it both comforting and strange. He turned to the stage for the next segment, smiling through another wave of congratulations. But his mind kept circling back to the letter. When the applause swelled again, he found his thoughts wandering to the last time they had spoken, months ago. In a quiet corner of a mutual friend's wedding reception. It had been a fleeting conversation. Genuine warmth, but also tinged with the acknowledgement that their worlds rarely aligned. Backstage again, Bo-gum finally allowed himself a moment. He slipped a finger under the flap and unfolded the single sheet of paper inside. The scent of faint floral perfume reached him first, followed by the side of So-hyun's looping script. The first line made his breath catch. "I couldn't be there tonight. But I wanted you to know that I am proud of you, not just for what you've achieved, but for the kindness you've never stopped showing to everyone around you." It wasn't a long letter, but every word seemed chosen with care. He spoke of moments few others remembered, a time he'd comforted a nervous rookie on set, the way he always stayed after charity events to speak with volunteers, the sincerity that had made him stand out from the beginning. Then, at the end, a line that drew him still, "You've inspired me more than you know. Congratulations, Bo-gum. This day reminds you of how deeply you're admired, not just by fans, but by those who have had the privilege to truly know you." He read it twice, each time feeling the warmth in his chest spread just a little further. The world outside the letter faded, all that remained was her voice in his mind. Soft yet unwavering. He hid the paper carefully, as if it were made of something more fragile than paper, and slipped it back into the envelope. When he stepped back onto the stage for the final act of the evening, something had shifted. His smile was the same. His eyes carried a different light, one that didn't go unnoticed. Fans watching from the audience tilted their heads, wondering about the subtle change. Photographers caught shots of him holding the microphone just a little tighter, his gaze momentarily distant before returning to the crowd. As the final applause echoed through the hall, Bogum bowed deeply, his gratitude radiating through the room. But even as the lights dimmed and the audience began to disperse, he couldn't shake the feeling that the quietest gesture of the night had been the most profound. The crowd might never know about the envelope tucked inside his jacket, but he knew it was a gift that would linger far longer than the evening's accolades. And so, with the night drawing to a close, the mystery of Kim So-hyun's quiet congratulations settled into his heart like a secret meant only for him, at least, for now. The days after the ceremony unfolded like any other in the whirlwind life of a star: interviews, photo shoots, meetings, all under the watchful eyes of the public. Yet beneath the carefully maintained schedules and polished appearances, that letter stayed with Bogum. It wasn't just the words, it was the way they had been sent, without an audience, without the expectation of recognition. Kind of sincerity that felt rare in a world where even kindness could be leveraged for publicity. In private moments, he found himself rereading it. On set breaks, in the quiet of his apartment at night. Take it out and trace the letters with his eyes. Hearing her voice in each line made him think of the times they had crossed paths over the years. The little fragments of connection that had accumulated between them. A shared laugh at an awards show green room. A passing conversation during a network event. Even the way she had once stood up for him in a subtle but unmistakable way during a press conference, redirecting a pointed question with grace. The letter became more than a congratulation, it was a reminder of how certain people, no matter how infrequently they appear in your life, leave an outsized impact. And while the media churned out headlines dissecting his every move, the one thing they couldn't see was the quiet truth folded in cream-colored paper. But the secret didn't remain entirely hidden. A week after the ceremony, during a live radio interview, the host asked a casual question: was there any particular moment from the event that stood out to you? Bogum hesitated, his fingers drumming lightly against the desk. I have mentioned the roaring applause, the standing ovation he now displayed in his home. Instead, he smiled and said, there was something personal, a message from someone I respect a lot. It meant more to me than I can put into words. The comment was vague, but in the age of social media, vagueness only fueled curiosity. Fans began speculating wildly, combing through guest lists, watching timelines. It didn't take long for someone to connect the dots: Kim So-hyun's absence from the ceremony, her filming schedule, rumored sighting of one of her close staff members at the venue. Soon, the hashtags started trending: So-hyun letter, quiet congratulations, unexpected moment. When asked about it later by a reporter, So-hyun didn't deny it. She simply smiled, lighting up in a way that confirmed everything without a single word. Sometimes, she said softly, the best celebrations are the ones that don't need to be seen by everyone. Their quiet exchange began to take on a life of its own in the public imagination. But what mattered most was how it strengthened something between them: an unspoken trust, an acknowledgement that they were more than just colleagues orbiting in the same industry. The next time they met, it wasn't at a red carpet gala or a press junket. The unassuming corner of a coffee shop. There was no entourage, no cameras, just two people talking the way friends do when no one is watching. They spoke of work, of the challenges of living in a spotlight that never dims, of family and travel and the little things that make a day worth remembering. It was never explicitly mentioned, but it hovered in the air between them, an invisible thread connecting their words. When they parted, she squeezed his hand lightly. Knew she understood what it had meant to him. In the months that followed, fans continued to speculate. But for Bogum and So-hyun, the moment had already done its work. It reminded them that not every gesture needs to be magnified. Not every bond needs to be proven in the court of public opinion. Sometimes, it's the quiet congratulations, the unseen acts of kindness, that shape the truest stories. And so, the memory of that autumn night remained golden lights, warm applause, and a single envelope that carried more weight than any trophy. It was an unexpected moment, yes, one that both of them knew would stay with them long after the world moved on. If you've enjoyed diving into this unexpected and emotional story, we'd love for you to stay connected with Red Carpet Revealed. Your voice matters. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us how this moment touched you. Join the conversation with other passionate readers. Like button to show your support. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our next exclusive reveal, behind the scenes insight, or heart-stirring celebrity moment. We have so many more stories to uncover, and your engagement keeps us inspired to bring them to life. Together, let's keep the discussion going and celebrate the moments that truly move us. Drop a comment, click subscribe. Stay tuned, because the next big story is just around the corner.